The Story of Angulimala, From Killer to Monk. In the ancient kingdom of Kosala, there lived a notorious bandit named Angulimala. His name, meaning garland of fingers, came from the gruesome chain of human fingers he wore around his neck. Angulimala had once been a promising student, but was deceived by a jealous teacher who tricked him into believing he needed to kill 1,000 people to achieve enlightenment. Misled by this twisted teaching, Angulimala became a ruthless killer, striking terror into all who crossed his path. Villages emptied at the mere mention of his name, and roads lay deserted. None dared to challenge him, for his strength and ferocity were unmatched. By the time Angulimala reached 999 victims, only one more life was needed to complete his macabre tally. News of Angulimala's terror reached the Buddha. Seeing the suffering caused by this misguided man, the Buddha decided to intervene. Walking calmly along the forest path, the enlightened one approached Angulimala's territory, despite warnings from villagers. As Angulimala spotted the Buddha in the distance, he was perplexed. Here was a man walking peacefully, utterly unafraid, in stark contrast to his usual victims who ran in terror. Intrigued, Angulimala rose from his hiding place and began to follow. Angulimala called out, "Stop, monk! Stop where you are!" The Buddha continued walking calmly, not quickening his pace. Angulimala, angered by this defiance, charged toward him. Despite his immense strength and speed, Angulimala could not seem to catch up, no matter how hard he ran. Frustrated and bewildered, he shouted again, "Stop, monk! Why won't you stop?" The Buddha turned and replied serenely, "I have stopped, Angulimala. It is you who have not stopped." Angulimala froze, confused by the words. "What do you mean? You are walking, yet you say you have stopped? Explain yourself." The Buddha gazed at him with calm and compassionate eyes. "I have stopped causing harm to all living beings. I live in peace and compassion, but you, Angulimala, have not stopped. Your actions bring suffering to others and to yourself. It is time for you to stop." These words struck Angulimala like a thunderclap. No one had ever spoken to him with such fearlessness or wisdom. His mind, clouded by anger and delusion, began to clear. Dropping his sword, he fell to his knees before the Buddha. "Master, I see the truth in your words," he said, his voice trembling. "I have been living in darkness, led astray by lies. Can I truly find peace after all I have done?" The Buddha placed a hand on his shoulder. "It is never too late to change, Angulimala. The path to peace begins the moment you choose to stop harming and seek the truth. You cannot undo the past, but you can transform the present and future." Moved by the Buddha's compassion, Angulimala renounced his violent ways and followed the Buddha as a monk. Under the Buddha's guidance, he dedicated his life to atoning for his actions and seeking enlightenment. Though the villagers initially feared and distrusted him, Angulimala's sincerity and transformation eventually won their respect. He faced immense challenges, suffering abuse and rejection from those who still saw him as a murderer. Yet, Angulimala accepted these hardships with humility, viewing them as opportunities to purify his karma. His dedication to the path of peace grew unwavering. Angulimala's story is a profound reminder that no one is beyond redemption. It teaches us that even the most misguided individuals can transform their lives through compassion, wisdom, and the courage to change. The Buddha's fearlessness and willingness to confront Angulimala, not with violence, but with love and understanding, demonstrate the power of nonviolence and the potential for spiritual awakening in everyone. As Angulimala himself learned, true peace begins when we stop harming others and ourselves, and instead embrace a life of compassion, mindfulness, and transformation. His journey stands as an eternal testament to the boundless possibility of human redemption and the enduring power of forgiveness.